So good. Hello. Good morning. It is morning. I think it's about 10:30. Welcome back to another vlog. I would love to say that this is going to be an exciting vlog, but it isn't. For any of you that don't follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you might not be aware, but I have re-ruptured my Achilles. So backstory for anyone that doesn't know, sorry if you've heard this a million times, feel free to skip. In July this year, so 4 months ago, I ruptured my left Achilles tendon. I was in an air cast boot for 10 weeks. I came out of my boot on the 12th of September, 2 days before my birthday, which was amazing. And everything was going well at first. I was walking well, I was driving. I had my first physio appointment a week after I came out of the boot. And then a couple of weeks after I came out of the boot, I did go back to work. I was working at obviously my normal job as cabin crew with a lot of restrictions. So I couldn't do like over 10-hour days. And I also was getting a lot of days off in between blocks, which I wouldn't normally get. And I was also working in a pub. So I got a job in a pub because when I knew I was coming out of the boot, I knew that I wasn't gonna be flying straight away, but also I knew that I wasn't gonna be flying as much as I normally would. So I wanted to work at the pub just to get some extra money basically after being on sick pay for 2 months. So that's what I was doing. I was working at the pub maybe like once a week, sometimes twice a week, and then I was flying a little bit. I did one short haul block, which I did vlog, where I night stopped in Hamburg and Athens. And then I also did do a Dubai a couple of weeks ago. That was my first and last long haul back. But basically I mentioned in my last vlog that I'd noticed a lump come up on the back of my ankle. I googled it and I spoke to the fracture clinic about it, and they both said that it was quite a normal part of the healing process, but to mention it to my physio the next time I went. So I was meant to go to physio on Friday what was the date? It was like the 17th of October. I had to cancel it because I got called to go to Dubai off of my standby block. I wasn't landing back from Dubai until after my physio, so I rearranged it. But the next available appointment they had was the 7th of November, and at the time I thought that's fine. I can go that long without physio. I'm doing okay, I'm walking, like everything seems fine. And then literally 2 days after I got back from Dubai on Sunday the 19th, I was at the pub. I was due to work a 4 till 8 at the pub, and I only managed to work half an hour of my shift because I was literally walking. I was carrying a tray with some drinks on it, and I was walking to deliver it to a table, and I felt myself trip and I dropped all the drinks. Really embarrassing, don't recommend it. But I thought I'd tripped over something because I was like, it was that feeling of when you catch your foot on something and you jolt forward. And I turned around like, what did I just trip on? And then I felt the pain, the same pain that I felt the first time that I ruptured my Achilles. Obviously I had knowledge on my side this time because I knew what that pain meant. I was kind of hoping that I'd just hurt it but hadn't re-ruptured it. I managed to limp to the staff room, called my boyfriend to come and pick me up. And honestly, if it was gonna happen again, I'm grateful that it happened at my pub job and not at my flying job, because it would have been so much more hassle for me to get back from Heathrow without being able to drive. It would have been so much more hassle for my car to get back from Heathrow without me. At least at my pub job, I was only 15 minutes down the road from where I live. I was able to go and, well, not me, but my boyfriend and my sister-in-law were able to collaborate and get my car the next day. Because at first I called Barney and I said I've hurt myself, but I said I don't think I've re-ruptured it because I managed to limp to the staff room, and the first time I did it, I couldn't put any weight on it. I couldn't limp, nothing. I thought that I had just hurt it. I didn't think it was a re-rupture, but I thought I still need to go to A&E to get it checked out. And he said, see if you can drive. And I obviously couldn't. I sat in my car and was like, no, I can't. It's my clutch foot as well, so I can't drive. He came and got me, took me to A&E. Kind of the same process as last time. I was seen, like I had an initial assessment in the normal A&E part of the hospital, who then sent me round to the urgent care centre, which is where I was sent last time I did it. And then I didn't wait very long, maybe like 20 minutes, and then I was seen, and the nurse took one look at my Achilles and was like, it's a re-rupture. That was just the worst news ever. I did get a bit upset because the first time I did this, I was obviously downtrodden, but I was genuinely quite excited to have some time off work because I'd been working so much. I just saw it as an opportunity to, you know, see my friends and family properly, get some YouTube videos done, get some small business stuff done. And I actually coped with it quite well the first time. And I was so happy to be out of the boot for autumn, because it's my favourite time of year, be able to go and do things again, be able to drive, and most importantly, be able to work, because not working isn't as much fun when it's been going on for 3 months, and also when you're not being paid. When you're only on statutory sick pay, it's not fun not working, especially when you've got a mortgage and bills to pay. I was really excited that I was doing well, or I thought I was doing well, but evidently, I don't know if I did something wrong or if my Achilles just didn't heal properly. But it's happened again, and actually happened quite easily. All I was doing was walking, not even like I was exerting myself or anything. It's been a week and 2 days since I went back into the boot. Originally, I said to my mum that I wasn't going to carry on with YouTube until I was out of the boot, just because literally, guys, you should have seen me last week. I was in a state of like deep depression. I was just sad constantly. Nothing was making me happy. I was in such a bad mood all the time. Like, I literally was in such a rut, I couldn't get out of it, and I was like, I am not, under any circumstances, picking up a camera and vlogging right now, because I'm just going to depress everybody else, and what's the use in that? But I did go to my mum's for a few days last week. I went to my auntie's birthday party. It's her 60th birthday today, but she had a party on Friday night, so I went and saw like loads of my cousins that I haven't seen for ages, and that was really nice, and obviously just nice to spend some time at home. Came back on Saturday, and then Barney and I had our friends over for the evening, which was lovely. And then we had a bit of a lazy day on Sunday, because on Sunday early in the morning at 8 o'clock I had my ultrasound for my ankle. So obviously the fact that I've done this injury before means that I know the process by now, so I knew that they were going to have to book me in for an ultrasound to check the damage. I would say they weren't as quick as they were last time. I feel like last time they were quite quick with getting everything booked in, but they called me on, bearing in mind I did it on the Sunday, I got a call from the fracture clinic on the Monday, so that was quite quick, and they basically just said, we're going to book you in for an ultrasound. They said we can go through like the care with you, but I feel like we don't need to, because it's a rerupture, so you know what you need to do. Side note, if you guys remember last time I did this, I had to have daily injections for blood thinning, and I managed to get tablets this time. When I was at the hospital and she said, what did you have last time for blood thinners? I said injections, but I was like, if you've got tablets or just anything that isn't an injection, I'll take that, because I hate injections, and it was quite traumatic having to do that every day for 6 weeks. Got tablets this time, which means I can just take it every night and I don't have to have that trauma of having an injection and have all the bruises on my belly. My belly literally looked like a Dalmatian this summer, because there were just so many bruises from where I was injected so much. Sorry, that was a bit of a tangent there. They called me on Monday. They said, you'll get a call from the hospital. I was expecting it to be quick. It wasn't. They called me on Friday and booked me in for Sunday. And I went for the ultrasound on Sunday, and he said that it is a rerupture. And he also said that the gap is much bigger than last time, which is just excellent. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. So basically it's worse. I've done it worse than I did it the first time. To be honest with you, I don't want to, I'm not looking to portion blame here, because it's no one's fault really. I even said the first time I did this, I can't believe that they just give you a boot and just leave you to it. They don't check up on you once to check that it's healing properly, which I find quite bizarre. And clearly it didn't heal properly. Even after the 10 weeks when I come out of the boot, I had a whole week before my first physio session. So I had a whole week of walking around on it and driving, and I could have not been doing things correctly for all I knew, but I hadn't had anyone tell me. I personally think that once you come out of the boot, you should have another ultrasound done to check that it's healed properly, because clearly mine didn't. And if I'd known that, I probably wouldn't have been pushing myself to work 2 jobs and walk as much as I did, and I probably would have been a lot more careful than I was. But I think naively I thought, I did everything I was supposed to do. I'm young-ish, 31, so I'm going to be okay, and I wasn't, and now I'm paying the price for it. No one else is paying the price, it's just me that's paying the price for it. Number one, I think I wasn't looked after properly, but also the physio, and it's not the physiotherapist's fault, but it's NHS physio, and NHS physio feels doesn't feel very intimate. I don't know if intimate's the right word, but the first time I went to physio, it was one-on-one. But the second time I went, I was in a gym, and my physiotherapist had 4 other clients at the same time as me. So he was walking around the gym, looking at everyone and not really giving any personal attention to me, because he was too busy giving a little bit to everyone, if that makes sense. And it isn't his fault. That's how the NHS works, understaffed and overworked. But I just felt like I didn't get much of a personal experience at physio, and Also, I annoyingly didn't notice the lump on the back of my ankle until after my last physio session, so I hadn't even managed to mention that to him. I honestly do feel a little bit let down. So I have been saying since the minute that I re-ruptured, I want surgery this time because number one, they'll have to check up on me a lot more than they did last time because I will have had a surgery done. And number two, it will significantly decrease the risk of it happening again. And I'm not being funny. If it's going to happen again just from me simply walking, I will be terrified when this boot comes off again. I'll be terrified to do anything. And also, part of me is like, am I ever going to be the same again? Is my left foot ever going to be able to function the way that it did before? Because I've now ruptured a crucial tendon twice in the space of 4 months. And I'm like, it's like breaking a plate, sellotaping it back together and then breaking it again. Like it's going to be difficult for it to ever be the same again. And obviously part of me is scared about that as well. The fracture clinic called me yesterday afternoon and they said, and I'm glad they said this because I wasn't going to be happy with it if they didn't say this, but they were like, we're going to refer you to the ankle and foot specialist portion of your local hospital because it's a big gap. It's kind of beyond our expertise, if that makes sense. She didn't say that, but I know that's what she means. Like, it's not for them to deal with now. It's a little bit more serious than it was last time. So now I am waiting for a call from the hospital to book me in for an appointment at the foot and ankle specialist, and they will basically go through with me the surgery option, the pros and cons, the risks, all of that. I think I'm gonna take Barney with me because Barney is just like another person to listen and kind of take in what they're saying. At the moment, I'm very set on the fact that I want surgery, but obviously, like, the minute they start talking about risks, that's going to put me off. So I don't know yet what I'm going to do. I'm going to decide, obviously, once I've had this appointment. That's where we're at. I am 9 days into the re-rupture and I'm waiting on an appointment to discuss surgery. I've also said to work that I want to work still. Obviously, I can't fly, but I can work on the ground. However, I haven't yet been assessed. Basically, when you're on long-term sick at my airline, you have to be assessed by their health services so they can kind of decide what you can do physically. But because I've technically only been off, I've only been absent for a week because I called them a week ago today. It's only now classed as long-term sick now that it's been a week. I'm hoping I will hear from them this week and they can be like, yes, you can come in and do a ground position. Because honestly, guys, not only can I not deal with being on statutory sick pay again, but I also can't deal with the boredom. I'm so bored. I've already exhausted everything I could possibly do in my time off. And even this, like even YouTube, I wasn't going to do it. I was going to just say, I was going to make a video explaining what had happened and say to you guys, look, I'll be back when I'm better. But right now, I just don't feel like I can give myself to you because I'm so down. But then I was like, I can't just ditch my hobbies. Like, I have to still carry on because otherwise I truly, truly will go insane. And also, I want this to act as like a crutch for somebody else going through this, because I typed in on YouTube about ruptured Achilles and I didn't really get anything come up, no vlogs or anything like that. It was all like medical videos, which I can't pay attention to them. I need to see a real person going through a real injury, and that's why I've decided to carry on vlogging. They're not going to be interesting vlogs, they're probably going to be quite raw and upsetting. I want to document this process because as much as I sort of did last time, I also feel like last time I kind of tried to dance around it a little bit, whereas this time I actually want to be truthful about it, and I want to bring you guys along with me, basically. That's where we're at. Today is actually the first day, I think, since I did it where I actually feel positive. I don't know why, but I just woke up this morning and I was like, I'm gonna have a good day today. I've made an effort with my outfit, I've done my hair, I've made myself a coffee and some nice breakfast, and I'm also... The good thing about this injury not being new to me is I'm so much more able this time round than I was the first time. So when I first did it, I was like, I can't walk anywhere, like it's too difficult. Whereas this time, I walk into the village where I live and go to the shop if I need to, which I did not do the first time. Don't get me wrong, it's so much effort. I come back and I'm sweating and I'm out of breath. And obviously I'm slow, and it does require a lot of effort for me to walk into my village. It's only a 5-minute walk if you're able-bodied, but 10 minutes, me as I am now, I'm very much like, I can still do things. I even got on a train, so I went to my mum's last week. She did pick me up, but then I didn't want to make her drop me home again, especially not on a Saturday, because the traffic in Chichester is just awful on a Saturday. So my brother dropped me at Southampton and I got the train from Southampton, and granted it's literally just one straight train journey, there's no changes, it's only an hour, but I got on the train and got off the train and walked home without any issues. So I'm very determined that I'm going to do a lot more this time than I did before. They say to you, do as much as you can on your boot because it will aid your recovery because you're using it a little bit more. And obviously I'm not putting any real weight on my foot, but I'm still using it a lot more. And honestly, like, I can't deal with this happening again. Like, at the moment, this is without the surgery option, my boot is due to come off on the 28th of December, which means I'm going to be in it all over Christmas. Again, my favourite time of year. I'm not going to be able to go to like Christmas markets, really. I'm not going to be able to go Christmas shopping properly. Like, I'm going to end up ordering everyone's gifts online, and even that, like, no one's getting any decent presents this year because I've run out of money. Like, last time I had savings to fall back on, so I was fine, but this time I've run out of those savings because I used them last time. And obviously I'm hoping that I'm still going to be able to work and therefore I'll still be earning a normal wage, but if for whatever reason, if I do have surgery, I can't work, so I will then be on SSP. So yeah, it's just, the whole thing has just completely depressed me, to be honest. And I really, really, really don't want this to happen to me again next year. I don't want to go into next year and injure myself again. Like, I just want this to be in the past now. I want this to be the end of it. I'm returning an Amazon parcel because I ordered one of those waterproof boot covers off of Amazon because they said to me in the hospital, originally when I first did it, they said you can take your boot off to have a shower. Obviously just don't stand up, sit down. So that's what I was doing, but this time they were like, just to like make sure that you don't knock it or anything, don't take it off even to shower. They were like, you can take it off to wash it, but don't like take it off to shower because that's a lot of movement and you could quite easily knock it. So I ordered a waterproof cover off of Amazon, but it won't go over my boot, it's too small. So I need to take that back, which is the reason that I'm going into the village today. But whilst I'm there, I'm just going to pick up some eggs because we're going to have an omelette for dinner tonight. Probably get myself some snacks as well because we literally don't have anything in. And I did say to Marnie, I don't want the house to be full of food because I will eat it because I'm bored. That's what we're doing today, and I thought I would kind of take you along with me, I guess. Anyway, I've talked honestly for about 20 minutes, I think, so really sorry about that. I'm going to finish my coffee and then we are going to go into the village. I'm back from my little outing and I've taken my jumper off because, as I said, I get so warm when I walk to the shop now. So I grabbed some eggs, as you saw, for our omelette tonight. I also picked up some mixed grapes. I do love some grapes, especially when I'm bored at home. I got a couple of packets of sweets. I was just in a bit of a sweet mood. I don't know whether it's because it's Halloween this week, but I got some Skittles squishy clouds and also some Haribo straws. And then, and I think this is a bit of a life update that I've not told you yet, some southern fried chicken bites because we have some pitters in the cupboard, so I thought I could have these in a pitter. So yes, some of you might be thinking, Megan, you're a vegetarian. Well, no, I'm no longer a vegetarian. I still don't eat red meat, like I don't eat pork or beef or anything like that. I just eat fish and chicken now. But yeah, I started eating chicken when I was injured last time, and I don't think I ever told you guys because I was scared you were going to judge me. But yeah, I started eating chicken because I got it into my head. I obviously researched like the best way to heal tendons and things like that, and one of the things it says you should eat a lot of is protein, which, I mean, yeah, of course. But I just felt like I wasn't really eating much protein in my diet, so I started eating chicken again, and now I can't stop eating it. So yeah, I eat chicken now, so I'm not a vegetarian anymore, I'm not a pescatarian, I'm not anything. I don't think there's a word for someone that eats fish and chicken but not red meat, but I still don't eat red meat and I never will again. I got these, you can have them hot or cold, and that was it, that was all I got. I am gonna pop a podcast on, put my shopping away and give the kitchen a little clean, enjoy this little time lapse of my cleaning. 4:30 and I thought I'd give you all a quick book update. I'm still reading this one by James Patterson. I started this at the beginning of the month. In my last vlog, I think I started it. I'm near the end. I'm on chapter 91 and there's 109 chapters. So I've got like 18 chapters left and they're very short chapters. They're only like 3 or 4 pages long. Yeah, that's how much I've read. This is how much I've got left. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't enjoyed this book. I just find, I don't know if I just don't like James Patterson as an author, but I find that there's not really much of a storyline to it. It's very like, it's almost like, you know when you watch a TV soap and there's like multiple things going on in one episode? That's kind of what this is like. There's not really a real plot to it and I just haven't found it very interesting. I found myself like not paying enough attention to it. Normally I feel like I would get through a book quicker than this. I'm still reading it because I don't want to pick it up and read it, but also I want to finish it because I have this like, this thing now since I started becoming like an avid reader where if I start a book, I have to finish it. I'm desperate to finish it so that I can start a new book that I actually enjoy. I do have a couple more James Patterson books upstairs, which if I end up reading one of them, I will give him another chance because it might just be that I didn't like this story. Not the best, probably my least favourite book that I've read this year, but this is book number 16. So once I've read this, which I feel like I will either finish it today or tomorrow, I'm definitely going to finish it before the end of October, and it's the 28th today, and I just have to read 4 more books before the end of the year to reach my new goal of 20 books, which I feel like I will be able to do because also, as I have mentioned, I'm not working, so I'm probably going to be doing a lot more reading than I would normally. Excited to finish this book, but equally I'm excited to finish it so that I don't have to read it anymore and I can start a new book. I'm not excited to finish it because I want to know what happens in the end, because there isn't really, it's one of those books where there isn't going to be an ending. Like there'll be an ending obviously, but it's not like, you're not waiting for like that twist at the end or like the cliffhanger, or it's nothing like that, which is not what I'm into. It's more of like a crime book than a thriller. That's my book update. I haven't done a lot this afternoon. I've just been on FaceTime to my best friend Shannon for probably about an hour, and I've been editing this vlog. I was watching some YouTube, obviously done a little bit of cleaning, but still haven't heard anything from work or from the hospital regarding seeing the foot and ankle specialist, so can't update you on that. I'll probably do a little wind down evening routine shortly. It's not dark outside, but it is obviously the end of October now. The clocks have gone back, so it now gets dark at like 5:30. It's probably going to be dark in an hour's time, and at that point I will be shutting the curtains, lighting my candle and winding down for the evening. Chapter 104 out of 109. I've literally got 5 chapters left, so I am gonna sit here. Sparny will probably be home any minute. It's almost 6 o'clock. I'm gonna sit here and finish this book and have a cozy little evening. Can't promise that I'm gonna upload every week, just because I do feel like it gets a bit samey and it's a little bit boring for me to do and for you guys to watch. But once I have an update for you all, then I will film another little vlog, or if I'm doing anything fun in the next few weeks, I will film a vlog, but I'm probably not going to be uploading weekly. This was more of just a vlog to explain what's going on. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I haven't come across too depressed and miserable in this vlog. If you did like the video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss future videos, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!